get to know Pittsburgh. We're so excited. We know you are so excited, and we can't wait to see you at Revival Today Church.
Welcome to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as Dallas and I are here to announce our next big move, biggest move we've ever made for Revival Today. Behind me is a building that will look nothing like it looks right now when we finish. We're on just under 5 acres of property that we've just finished purchasing, which is going to give us the ability to have a state-of-the-art studio. And in that studio, something I've wanted to have for a long time, which is a live studio audience. It's going to be a 500-seat building when we finish with it that'll give us the ability to touch the world with our broadcasts. This facility is going to give me the ability to do what I've really missed, which is having you in the audience to minister to personally. Obviously, you can't beat the reach of digital media. We touch the whole world every day, but we have the ability now with this to lay hands on people, pray for people that are sick, a place where you can bring people that are drug addicted, demonized, and really give them the ministry that you can't get on YouTube and Facebook. I can't wait. And then beyond that, we're going to announce the launch of Revival Today Church. We're going to hold Holy Ghost church services every Sunday morning. I'll be there most Sunday mornings. This isn't going to be like some little side project. We're going to give you and your family a place you can go that's a soul-winning church that values the presence of God, where you can get prayed for and ministered to, where there's not a critical race theory lecture or a mask and social distancing 10 minutes of no talking to anybody in the lobby. None of that. We're going to have a place where you're free and where you're free to experience the presence of God.
I'm incredibly excited because I know a lot of you have been asking about different meetings and events that we couldn't have during COVID, and trust me, we tried so hard. So this really frees us up to do everything that we want to do with healing meetings and women's conferences. So I am so looking forward to seeing you and having you be a part of this.
So I want to give you a twofold call to action. Number one, if your church turned in to a liberal nightmare in 2020 and you need a place to go, I would be happy to have you at our church. Number two, if you are a partner or a friend of our ministry, Revival Today, this is the biggest move by far we've ever made. By the time we finish remodeling that building, the acquiring of the property, you're looking at a couple of M's. So if you would stand with us now, I'll say thank you ahead of time. Pray and ask the Holy Ghost what He would have you to do. You've been so generous, and I thank you ahead of time for your extreme generosity. I know I speak on behalf of my wife, everybody here at Revival Today, when I say we love you very much. And now I can say I look forward to seeing you face to face here at the new home of Revival Today.
Hey. Good morning. Check the market. How's it going? Oh, market's open in 10 seconds. Look at that. Futures are flat. So it's not too exciting today. Ninja, good morning. Scott. Hollywood style production right there. Good morning, Gerald. Angie from Texas. AJ Bible. All in on the most high risk Patrick has today. Well, I don't know if I would do that. Missy, good morning. Christophorus, good morning to you. Who is ready for Check the Market today? Elon Musk will build cars on Mars. So not only is he moving his headquarters from California to Texas, but he might be moving it to Mars soon. We'll find out today. No pressure. Sandra, good morning. Welcome to Check the Market, everybody. Make sure you share the broadcast this beautiful Friday morning that we have here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Sun is out. Charles, good morning. And Ricky from Spring, Texas, good morning. Ryan from Kentucky. Eric. Bethany. Cars on Mars is a great band name. Yes. For those screamo bands that she used to listen to in college. Scott. I'll try and get a good high-risk pick for you there, AJ. To YOLO all the money into. All right, let's get into it. Elon Musk said he wants to build cars on Mars before I am dead. Musk is aiming to build a city of 1 million inhabitants on Mars. I don't understand what goes on in his brain. He must be like so far in the future. I would be interested to see like what goes on in his mind on a daily basis. Good morning, Doug. There, that's what goes on in his mind. Flying his Tesla Roadster around the globe. That thing's actually in space though. They launched it. Eric, good morning. And Mike, welcome. All right, let's see the article. There we go. There's Elon Musk on Mars. Elon Musk already sent one of his Teslas into outer space on a rocket, and now he's thinking about building them there too. During Tesla's 21 shareholder meeting on Thursday in Austin, Texas, one of the attendees asked Musk when Tesla would start building vehicles off-planet. Man, the attendees are also thinking. Continue. He is highly focused. Off-planet factory, I like the way you think, Musk responded. So we are many years before Tesla's first off-planet factory. I mean, I would like to see one before I'm dead. That would be cool, he continued. So I don't know what we got, like 40 years-ish. Hopefully before I'm dead, basically that would be great. Musk is aiming to build a city of 1 million inhabitants on Mars by 2050 through his SpaceX company, and has previously said he would like to die there, just not on impact. Musk also got down to earth about future production on Earth. During the meeting, when asked if Tesla is planning to build any more factories after its Austin and Berlin locations are up and running, along with those in Fremont, California, and Shanghai. Continue. He said Tesla can still do a lot to expand production at the 4 vehicle manufacturing facilities it has, and that it was mostly important to have output in each of the continents that cover its primary markets to make transporting cars easier. We'll probably get to new factory locations, start to investigate them next year, maybe make a decision in 23. Next article. Maria from Florida, hello to you. Lisa, good morning from Lloydminster, Alberta, Canada. Watching from Canada. Awesome. Welcome from Alberta. No regulation, no taxes, possibly. I don't know if it would be... Yeah, what would they do government-wise? Because if it's a private corporation that builds a city there, the corporation would be in charge. So if the corporation says no taxes, then there's no taxes. Gold and silver moving today. Let's take a look at gold and silver. Gold is up 1.27%. Silver up over 2%. Wow. Next. Is Amazon looking to leave Seattle? CEO Andy Jassy says the relationship with Seattle City Council has gotten rougher. Uh-oh. Is Amazon about to leave Seattle? Continue. I saw. Is that still the same person? Does not look like the same person. Look at that. Look at that. He's definitely had. Go back to the first picture. He's had like plastic surgery done on his jawline, right? To make it look more square. And fillers. You have been found out. Jeff. Continue. Stockman. Dr. Evil, continue. Oh man. Bicep implants, yep. It's no secret that Seattle-based Amazon and the city council of its headquarters have been going through a rough patch for several years, and CEO Andy Jassy gave his take on the situation this week. While Jassy maintains that the retail giant will always have folks in the area, Amazon is looking outside the Emerald City as it expands, and there are no guarantees that Seattle will remain home base. Uh-oh. Continue. I think our relationship with Seattle had ups and downs, frankly. I think the first 20-ish years were pretty collaborative. He said, noting that when Amazon decided to build its campus, the council was very supportive and solicitous because it was making them look good. But in the past 5 years, the city council has become less enamored with business or with Amazon. It's just been rougher. In 2018, Seattle passed a so-called head tax aimed at Amazon and other large employers in the city, which would have imposed a $275 annual charge per employee for companies in the city that earn $20 million or more. My goodness, continue. Amazon headquarters in Seattle. Continue. That would have cost Amazon roughly $60 million per year just for being located in Seattle, most of which was intended to address homelessness in the city. The company, which employs more than 50,000 people in the region, responded by threatening to stop construction on its downtown buildings. At the time, after pressure from business groups, the council repealed the measure. Amazon spent $1.5 million the next year on campaigns of council candidates more friendly to businesses, but were unsuccessful in most of the races. In March of last year, Amazon opened a shelter in Seattle to help at-risk families. So it actually sounds like Amazon is doing more for Seattle than the Seattle City Council. Continue. And we can go to the next article. So it looks like Amazon might be leaving Seattle, Tesla leaving California. Probably won't be the last one to, the last company to leave. Yeah, that probably hurts when your workforce goes to Antifa. Next. September jobs report. Economy adds back disappointing 194,000 jobs. Unemployment rate falls to 4.8%. Let's see it. Change in non-farm payrolls. September, 194,000 versus 500,000 expected, and a revised 366,000 in August. Unemployment rate, 4.8 versus 5.1 expected, 5.2% in August. Hourly wages went up a little bit. And hourly earnings year over year are what expectations were, 4.6%. So that was not too good of news. That's why they're saying the market's down. Market's down just a little bit. It's basically still flat, trading flat at this point. The Lion Company LEV is supposed to have a contract with Amazon. They did say that they had a contract for 2,500 vehicles, but it was not a binding contract. So just like with most other electric vehicle companies, it's not, they don't actually have to follow through on the contract. Inez, good morning. Eric. Next. Bitcoin bull run. Analysts predict record rally to end of 21. Bitcoin's price was up Friday morning and has managed to hold above key level of 50,000 as analysts predict cryptocurrencies are going to soar in the last quarter of 21. At the time of writing, Bitcoin was up 1.2% to trade at 55,000. Ethereum, the world's second largest crypto by market cap, was up 0.5 to trade at 3,600. This comes amid reassuring statements from the US that they will not come down hard on cryptos, following a regulatory crackdown in China and news that the investment firm founded by billionaire George Soros owns Bitcoin. Soros is rumored to have been trading in Bitcoin for the past few months, and the head of Soros Fund Management, Don Fitzpatrick, recently said, "I'm not sure Bitcoin is viewed only as an inflation hedge here. It crossed the chasm to mainstream." Continue. Nick Spanos, crypto investor and founder of Zap Protocols, said Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the broader crypto market are likely to have ludicrously strong fourth quarter, and I predict we'll see new all-time highs across the board by 22. He said the two major cryptos are already approaching their all-time highs. Bitcoin hit 63,000 in April, and predicts Bitcoin will breach the 100,000 mark as early as year end, while Ethereum will hit 10 to 12,000. So it looks like Ethereum has a better, it could triple, while Bitcoin could double. Looks like we're up slightly on those two today. XRP down slightly. Dogecoin 24 cents. Algo 191. Pretty flat on the crypto market as well. Next. Good morning, Michael from Syracuse. Wall Street could get 4 Bitcoin future ETFs by the end of the month. So they're saying there's potential approval dates of these for the ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF, Invesco Bitcoin Strategy ETF, Van Eck Bitcoin Strategy, Valkyrie, and then Galaxy Bitcoin Strategy. So there's some ETFs that the SEC has to approve, and they might get approved by the end of the month. Let's see the article. After years of waiting for a US Bitcoin ETF, the crypto community may finally get as many as 4 products in a matter of weeks. This month, the Securities and Exchange Commission once again has to approve, reject, or delay a set of applications for exchange-traded funds based on the largest digital currency. This time around, they'll follow a format that SEC Chair Gary Gensler has indicated would be received favorably by the regulator. They'll hold Bitcoin futures rather than the digital asset itself and are filled under the Investment Company Act of 1940, a route that offers higher investor protection. Next article. Mike, XRP. I'm going to trade sideways. XRP is trading fairly sideways, but they're way up from where they were last year. What's that? 3x, 4x almost. Fed Governor Lael Brainerd is in line for a key banking position. Here's what it could mean for Wall Street. So Lael Brainerd is could be the next Fed chairman. Let's see the article. Good morning, Kim. Happy Friday to you. Federal Reserve Governor Lael Brainerd, increased influence ahead likely means substantial changes and challenges for the nation's banking system. Considered a progressive who favors tighter reins on financial institutions, particularly the Wall Street powerhouses, Brainerd should figure prominently as President Joe Biden weighs who will chair the central bank and who will specifically supervise banks. She's widely expected to get either of those two positions in the coming months. Everybody can see that the Fed has been moving toward a more progressive stance, and it wouldn't be a big shock to see that she gets more power either as Fed chair or as vice chair for regulation. To the extent that the Fed's always more focused on monetary policy than regulation, now one of its new mandates from the progressives is to pay more attention to regulating the banks. The Fed should stay out of it. Continue. That issue came sharply into focus last week when Senator Elizabeth Warren, a leading progressive and former presidential candidate, called current chairman Jerome Powell dangerous because of the Fed's move to loosen bank regulations. Warren announced then that she would oppose Powell's renomination. Powell's term ends in February, though Biden is expected to make a decision well ahead of that. So who knows, Lael Brainerd might be the new Fed chair. That would definitely have an effect on the markets, so we'll be following that very closely. Next article. What are the chances will Facebook fire Mark Zuckerberg? What are the chances Mark Zuckerberg isn't Facebook CEO in 2 years? And would that affect the stock negatively or positively? I think it might actually affect it positively. Let's see it. Facebook shares have shrugged off a massive outage of multiple Facebook platforms and damning whistleblower testimony in Washington this week and are now up 2.5% from Monday's close. But while Facebook shareholders may have avoided any major fallout from the whistleblower testimony, former hedge fund manager Whitney Tilson says Facebook founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg may not survive the scandal. The allegations? On Tuesday, former Facebook product manager Frances Haugen, we all saw that already, so continue. The result has been a system that amplifies division. Fallout for Zuckerberg. In his daily newsletter on Thursday, Tilson called Zuckerberg's post laughably bad. Oh, he said, "We are deeply about issues like safety, well-being, and mental health. It's difficult to see coverage that misrepresents our work and our motives." Okay. Continue. In the face of Haugen's compelling testimony and her release of thousands of pages, which has led to overwhelming bipartisan criticism, Zuckerberg's 16-paragraph, 1,316-word post doesn't once acknowledge any problem, much less any contrition, much less any indication that he and his company might need to do even a few things differently. Tilson says he agrees with the conclusions of Alex Stamos, director of the Stanford Internet Observatory and a former head of security of Facebook. Stamos said it's unlikely any of Facebook's problems related to user safety, content algorithms, misinformation, and mental health will be fixed while Zuckerberg remains CEO. Continue. Zuckerberg controls 58% of Facebook's voting shares, and Tilson said he's unlikely to step down on his own. However, Tilson noted that U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is currently investigating Facebook for misleading investors, and the SEC could choose to force Zuckerberg out of the position. The SEC took a similar approach in temporarily forcing Tesla's CEO Elon Musk out of his position as Tesla chairman as part of a fraud settlement back in 2018. I don't think it's likely, but it's not impossible. I think there's a 25% chance that Zuckerberg is no longer CEO within 2 years. Unlikely but possible seems like an accurate assessment of the likelihood the SEC will give Zuckerberg the boot. The SEC could have recommended Musk be removed from his position as Tesla CEO for misleading investors with his famous funding secured tweet. So the SEC doesn't appear to see the act of misleading investors alone as grounds enough for removing a big tech CEO like Zuckerberg. But who knows? Even though he has 58% of the voting shares, there could still be revolt amongst the board members or shareholders. That is a question I've been asking myself, David. Just like with gold, is there enough gold is there actually enough physical gold to justify what's in the ETFs? And will there be enough Bitcoin to justify what they're going to put in those ETFs, or how much they're going to be holding in those ETFs? My guess is they're probably going to do what they do with gold, and there's going to be way more money in those ETFs than there is actually Bitcoin. So when people want to redeem their money for Bitcoin, it's not going to happen. Just like it would with if people tried to redeem paper money for gold, or their paper gold for actual gold. Next. A 2024 Apple car launch could be biggest downside catalyst for Tesla stock. I know Ram is super excited about this. He can't wait to get his hands on his on a Tesla car. I mean an Apple car that you can remotely drive back to your house with your iPhone. Next. Or continue. Let's see the article. Yeah, thousands. Tesla's valuation has been subject of much debate among analysts. The EV manufacturer's market cap exceeds the combined valuation of most automakers. The fair valuation of Tesla shares could be around $150. And the biggest catalyst that could take the EV maker's stock there is likely to be the launch of an Apple car, potentially in 2024. Roth Capital Partners analyst Craig Irwin said in an interview to Yahoo Finance, the analyst expects the Apple car launch to be something like Volkswagen's owned Porsche launch of the Taycan. Apple is likely to use bleeding-edge technology in the car, which is typical of the company. Continue. How much you want to bet that this guy is shorting Tesla stock and owns Apple? Other downside risks include the abundance of brands launched in the market. Claims that Tesla has an edge on battery prices will not hold, as the EV maker sources much of its batteries from elsewhere. These things as become evident, I think they're a catalyst for people reallocating money elsewhere. The analyst also said that he does not consider the Cybertruck a big deal. There are other options coming from the other big names companies along, like Rivian and others. Continue. Eric does not want an Apple car. That would be interesting if prices went like the tulip crash back in the day. Institutional investors dump gold for Bitcoin, seeing it as better inflation hedge. Continue. Global investment bank JP Morgan says institutional investors are returning to Bitcoin, seeing the cryptocurrency as a better hedge than gold. The firm's analysts described three drivers boosting the price of Bitcoin in recent weeks, including assurances that U.S. policymakers will not ban cryptocurrencies. JP Morgan published a research note Thursday stating that institutional investors are returning to Bitcoin, citing the trend of money flowing out of gold into Bitcoin. Institutional investor appears to be returning to Bitcoin, perhaps seeing it as a better inflation hedge than gold. The analyst explained that there are three key drivers pushing the price of Bitcoin from about 40 to about 55,000 in a short period of time. The price of Bitcoin is 54,496 right now. Continue. That's awesome, Fergal. That is true. The recent assurances by U.S. policymakers that there is no intention to follow China's steps towards banning the usage or mining of cryptocurrencies. Both Jerome Powell and Gary Gensler told Congress this week that they had no intention to ban cryptocurrency as China did. I don't think they have the authority anyway. The SEC chief said his agency is taking a different approach to China, focusing on investor protection and regulation. The second reason is the rise in the Lightning Network and second-layer payment solutions helped by El Salvador's Bitcoin adoption. JP Morgan detailed El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender in September. The country has bought 700 Bitcoin, and President Nayib Bukele claimed that 3 million Salvadorans are already using the government's Bitcoin wallet, Chivo. The third reason is the reemergence of inflation concerns among investors has renewed interest in the usage of Bitcoin as an inflation hedge. Continue. JP Morgan further explained that the trend of the funds flowing out of gold and into Bitcoin has reemerged in recent weeks. In May, the firm saw the opposite trend where funds flowed out of Bitcoin into gold. So Bitcoin is flowing back into from gold back into Bitcoin, Congratulations to everybody who holds Bitcoin. The past couple of weeks have been good. Next. MoneyGram partners with Stellar Development Foundation to allow users to make remittances with US dollar coin. Let's see the article. All signs point to an XRP settlement by the end of October. It'll beat Elon Musk to Mars. Yes, I agree with that. XRP to the moon. MoneyGram, one of the leaders in the cross-border payments and remittances market, has partnered with the Stellar Development Foundation to use the Stellar blockchain, so Stellar Lumens XLM, for settlements. The company will use the native version of USD coin, USDC, a popular stablecoin, to simplify and accelerate the process of sending remittances. This also means that MoneyGram will act as a fiat on and off ramp service for US dollar coin users. MoneyGram, a Dallas-based payments and remittances company, has announced a partnership with the Stellar Development Foundation. Continue. However, neither MoneyGram nor Circle are banks. United Texas Bank will serve as a settlement bank between Circle and MoneyGram, acting as a link between the two institutions. MoneyGram now becomes an off-ramp for users of USD coin as a way of getting fiat funds and vice versa, adding value to the USDC ecosystem. MoneyGram was one of the first remittances companies to integrate blockchain when it announced a partnership with Ripple. However, this partnership dissolved after the SEC announced it was pursuing legal actions against the company in December 2020. So it looks like XLM got the partnership. The guy who founded XLM actually used to work with Ripple. Buy up some XLM too. I own some XLM. Let's see what it's doing today. On this news, it's down. 33 cents for Stellar Lumens, but XLM is, I think, is a good investment too. That's right. Continue. The new system to be implemented by the company is expected to allow for almost instantaneous settlement times with low fees thanks to the use of the Stellar blockchain and no implied volatility due to the use of stablecoins. As crypto and digital currencies rise in prominence, we're especially optimistic about the potential of stablecoins as a method to streamline cross-border payments. We're extremely well positioned to continue to be the leader in building bridges to connect digital currencies and local fiat currencies. According to Circle, this partnership will contribute to lowering the costs associated with remittances. This is one of the UN's proposed Sustainable Development Goals, which aims to lower remittances costs from 7 to 3% of the funds sent. It'll be interesting to see if cryptocurrencies can help achieve this objective in the short term. I believe they will. Next. General Motors analysts react to ambitious new guidance. Story may gain more traction. So General Motors has just issued some seriously optimistic guidance. Let's see the article. GM shares were gaining ground Thursday after the company updated its long-term financial guidance at the Investor Day event. The biggest headline number from day one of the event was GM's updated long-term guidance. The auto giant says it plans to double annual revenue to $280 billion by 2030, thanks to inflation. In addition to growing revenue, GM said it's targeting operating profit margins between 12 and 14%. In 2020, GM reported an operating profit margin of just 7.9%. We'll see if they can do this. This is very ambitious. GM is projecting its traditional auto sales and financing businesses will grow from $138 billion annually to between $195 and $235 billion by 2030. In addition, GM is projecting new businesses, including the autonomous vehicle subsidiary Cruise and commercial EV business BrightDrop, will grow from $2 billion annual sales to $80 billion. So some lofty goals there at GM. Will they be able to do it? Remains to be seen. Continue. GM is investing $35 billion in electric and automotive vehicle technology through 2025 and plans to transition to full EV production by 2035. We'll see what happens there. Continue. Starry going public via SPAC. What investors should know about this unlimited home internet company. So this is kind of like Elon Musk's Starlink. Let's see the article. This could be interesting. Starry announced a SPAC merger with Firstmark Horizon Acquisition Corp, FMAC, which I just added to my watch list, valuing the company at a pro forma enterprise value of $1.66 billion. The company announced 75% of sponsor-held shares are subject to performance-based earnouts. Current FMAC shareholders will own 23% of the company after the merger. The company will trade with the ticker symbol STRY. With a mission to become one of the largest broadband providers in the US, Starry offers high-speed fixed wireless experience for customers using its end-to-end technology stack. Founded in 2016, the company now covers 4.7 million homes in 6 markets. Continue. Starry's wireless technology has transformed the economics of connecting homes and small businesses to a fiber-quality connection through the air without having to sacrifice reliability or the customer experience. Starry has spent more than $200 million to develop its technology, which enables gigabit speed internet from towers and rooftops at a fraction of the cost of fiber networks. The company lists a net promoter score of 72 in its presentation, compared to much lower scores for current cable providers. I would have to look more into that and make sure that that's actually accurate. Starry's spectrum rights cover 40 million homes across 37 states, and the company plans to expand the network to cover 25 million households by 2026. Cable incumbents have a 67% market share in the US of the US broadband market, according to Starry. So Starry is an interesting one to keep an eye on. It'll be FMAC right now, while it's still a SPAC, and then STRY. It's on my watch list. I will be keeping an eye on this. Eric. Skynet, they will terminate the competition. Yes, sir. Next. How neo-rival Li Auto is working around the chip shortage. So what they're doing, what Li Auto is doing, it's very interesting. They are delivering vehicles without blind spot monitors and some of its other chips. And they'll be adding them later. So that's how they're going around the chip shortage, which is fairly interesting. I don't know if MoneyGram necessarily would gain a lot from that. I think XLM out of those two, if I had to pick between MoneyGram and XLM, if they're using the XLM network, I think XLM would be the better investment. All right, I got a couple of stocks that I researched for you today. These were some that you all wanted me to research, so I got 3 for you today. CX came up. It's an operating and holding Mexico-based company, engaged directly or indirectly. So basically a cement manufacturer, a huge cement manufacturer. I remember they had a plant when I was living in Kenya as a child. They had a plant not too far from where we lived. So CEMEX, they're all over the world. This company is a supplier of aggregates, primarily the crushed stone, sand, gravel, used in various forms of construction. It's a cement manufacturer that's based out of Mexico, trading right around book value, hasn't seen much revenue growth over the past 5 years. The company is sitting on a nice pile of cash, but it does have a lot of debt. It's currently trading around $6.65. It's off of its 52-week high of $9. I kind of like this stock, especially when it comes to infrastructure and all the talks of infrastructure spending. But I think it might go down a little bit more for a better entry point. So CMEX, if you're interested in that company, I think it could be a pretty good company. Back in during the housing boom in 2007 and 2008, the company was trading around $25 a share. Zevia was another one that was brought up. ZVIA. So we've talked about Zevia before. It's a beverage company that offers 0 calories, 0 sugar, naturally sweetened beverages. This company just had its IPO in July and has been trading in a range between $10 and $16. It's currently trading around $13. There's been some insider activity, and it looks like most investment firms are very positive on the growth and outlook of the company. The company could be a candidate for a quick 10% profit. Could potentially also be a long-term hold if you're looking for a company with solid growth outlook. Since people are becoming more health conscious and still have a taste for sweet drinks, management is very competent and has good experience. I haven't seen a lot of negative press or consumer complaints about this company. So if the customers are happy with the company, I think it would be a good investment. The main thing that I like about this company is that it has 0 long-term debt. It has absolutely no long-term debt, which is very rare. Most beverage companies have a debt-to-capital ratio of around 50% or higher. So I think that Zevia might be a good investment. It's actually on one of my watch lists. OKE is another one. On one OK. OKE. It's an energy company. The company provides midstream services and owns natural gas liquids systems connecting natural gas supply in the Rocky Mountains, Permian, and Mid-Continent regions. They have natural gas gathering, processing, storage, and transportation assets. The natural gas pipeline segment, through its wholly owned assets, provide intrastate and interstate transportation and storage services to end users. This company is looking pretty good for dividend hunters. It has a dividend at around 6%, a little more than, I think 6.6%. It's had slow revenue growth over the past 3 years, but that's in line with the energy industry since oil prices were low during the Trump administration. The company's a little pricey right now, but there might be another 10% left if it keeps up its momentum. Some dislikes is that the company's fairly highly leveraged. It has taken on a lot of new debt over the past 2 years, and its debt-to-capital ratio is 77%, which is huge. So it's a little high for me, but it's still a very strong company and has proven itself. It has good management team, still has some room to grow, especially with overseas demand for natural gas liquids continuing to grow. You can always dollar cost average into this company and invest for the dividends, which are currently at 6.16%. Overall, I'd give it a 4.2 out of 5. I think that it's still a good company, 6.16. So if anybody's looking for good dividends, OKE. OKE. So those were the stocks that I researched for you. If there's any others that you would like me to research, I still have a couple more that I'm going to look over. If there's a couple more. This weekend, if you're interested in trading, if you have some downtime, download an app like Coinbase or Uphold or something like that. And Oscorp. I don't know if I'll find much on that one. Tiff, I think XRP still has a good amount left to run. So even if you buy more now and then buy some more, if it dips back under $1, I think you're still looking pretty good there. Yes, sir. OKE. OKE was an energy company, 6.16% dividend. Pretty good. And it's a very solid company. It has a lot of debt, but it's a very solid company. So this weekend, trade some cryptocurrencies. take some risks, trade some cryptocurrencies. What I like about it is I can trade them on the weekend. You can have a small amount, so you don't need to have $25,000 in your account to be able to day trade them. So you can trade them whenever you want. That's what I like about cryptocurrencies. So if you want to do that this weekend, I think it would be a good time. Uphold, Coinbase, Webull. There's a couple others, Qcoin, a couple other apps that you can download to trade cryptocurrencies on. And if you would like to invest in Revival today, currently in the process of building a church, we're feeding 1,200 kids a day, spreading the gospel all over the United States of America. And there's no greater investment that you can make than investing in the kingdom of God. And if you'd like to do that today, you can do so by doing #donate on Facebook. You can go to revivaltoday.com, hit the Give Now button, text RT to 50155, Cash App $RT Give, Venmo @RT Give. You can go to revivaltoday.com/PayPal if you prefer PayPal. You can also give by cryptocurrency. We have all sorts of cryptocurrencies if you scan that code right there. And if you'd like to give by check, you can do so by sending a check to Revival Today, P.O. Box 7, Prosperity, Pennsylvania 15329. Then don't forget to claim your offer, which is the book on cryptocurrency. You got that book? Cryptocurrency Trader's Handbook, complete guide on how to trade Bitcoin and altcoins. So this goes over all the different language and things and systems and everything with cryptocurrency. So if you'd like to have that book, we'll send that to you as a thank you for donating and partnering with us today. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for tuning in to check the market. Let's check the market. Still fairly flat. See what happens at the end of the day. Have a good weekend. Go out there and make some money today. And I will see you all next week. Have a great weekend, everybody.